Chat, here we go. We got some 1v1 matches. It's Shadi versus FBI. Two players that actually started around the same time as each other. And players that I thought were eventually going to be destined to play against each other. Now, if you're wondering who they are, Shadi actually recently qualified for the Salt Mine. And while I've turned chat off screen, in case you're wondering why you don't see chat and you're normally used to seeing it, the reason why you don't is because not all of Salt Mine has released onto YouTube. And I know that somebody's going to come in here and start talking about Salt Mine results because it's the biggest tournament that's happened in ones ever. So instead of having that spoiled for you guys, I am just going to take that off screen until all of it has been uploaded to YouTube, which is just a couple days. So maybe a video or two at most will have it. But I will be spoiling things that have been released on YouTube. So if you aren't caught up with the stuff that has already been released, I will mention those results. So watch out for that. And the reason why I say that is because Shadi played Salt Mine. Shadi was in the Salt Mine. He was a part of Group A. He had a great qualifying run, but I believe he finished last, so he'll be looking to defend his spot in the Salt Mine for Stage 2. And I'm sure one of the guys he's going to have to defend against is a guy like FBI. FBI is rated top 5 in ranked right now. So if you go and check the ranked leaderboard, he'll be number 5. And he got eliminated in his attempt to qualify for the tournament by losing to Oski and... Let me double check. I checked the two players he played against. Oski and Raziers. Oski and Raziers, who's actually going to be playing later today. So not a couple bad losses there for FBI, who has clearly been grinding in his 1v1 game. But how does he fare against Shadi? Now, I think Shadi and FBI, I thought they were teammates of some sort in the past. I think when I originally had Shadi on, he was the one who told me that FBI should get a chance on stream as well. And it led to a couple good FBI matches that we've had. Now these two finally matching up against each other. And everyone loves to make jokes about both these names. So it's great news for the big jokesters of chat. Of course, you don't have to read all of them. I've taken them off screen for you on the YouTube video, but they love to make FBI jokes. And they love to make Shadi jokes because of the way I say Shadi, which I think is as close to correct as I'm going to get. FBI is in trouble here. FBI is, like I said, certainly a player who can hang in a matchup like this. Top 5 rated on the leaderboard, and it's not, a fluke. It's not like one of those accounts that randomly shows up that doesn't deserve to be there. He has shown many times on stream that he's a top ones player, but he seems to be having a tough time with Shadi so far. This fake will be the first, and we'll get to see his goal explosion. Over 1 minute and 30 in. Really, he's not too far behind in terms of scoring. He's just been getting absolutely annihilated on the other way. Yo, Mufasa, thank you for 17 months. 17 months. One of your dream matches. Well, it's great to have you here for it. FBI can turn this around with a couple kickoff goals, by all means. That was an interesting setup by Shadi as he approached the ball. I'm not sure what the plan was, getting around to the side of it. But as I mentioned right before we turned on the video here and started the match, you can check out Johnny's stream. I got to co-commentate for the Salt Mine final brackets, so the final 3 matches of both NA and EU. So by all means, make sure to check those out, as I think they're pretty entertaining games, and I had a great time being a part of it. FBI trying to control this ball off his back wall. Had a boost steal at the midfield, or sorry, at his back corner. Used it in order to steal at the midfield as well. Shadi fairly low. I got used to this Salt Mine overlay. If you guys saw the Salt Mine overlay, it's actually really cool. But also, one part of it that you guys maybe don't recognize is that even my overlay that I have right now is not something I see when I'm streaming. You guys just see it. But the Salt Mine overlay, they made it so that you see it while you watch the game. So I got to see everyone's boost at all times. It was actually kind of useful. Whereas now I have to go look at my preview if I want to see the boost meters for both players at the same time. But yeah, very cool overlay that Salt Mine was using. We'll have it again, of course, because we will have future Salt Mine games. But Salt Mine on pause for now. Shadi launching a long shot. Interesting air roll here to get this flick. I just want to watch it again real quick. Flipping all the way around the ball in order to get that little extra power from the flick. Kid Slice, thank you for the 12 months of Prime. He's asking where are his primers at? A great question. You can certainly ask that when you've been priming for 12 months. FBI, nice save. Perfectly placed touch to the back wall in order to enable him to be able to cover the follow-up. Oh, Demo should be able to cut this in. FBI, you know, since going down 5-0, he's been on a 3-1 run. It's just starting way too late. Did he dig himself too big of a hole to come back from? Shadi. Oh, wow. Look at this shot from Shadi. It's a kickoff wall to air dribble. Something you see a ton in ones. He goes to the ceiling for the reset, but he absolutely rips it into the top right. It goes in at 70 kilometers per hour. That's after it's slammed into the crossbar. He was definitely going in with a lot more speed than that. There's a slight delay from Shadi on the kickoff. I don't know if that's intentional, if he's actually just getting to the kickoff that much later. Probably intentional, but it's watching from FBI's perspective. FBI is using a ton of boost on possession creation plays. I'm not sure how to word it, but you know, Shadi's in a position right now where he's going to try and create a possession, and I feel like him and lots of other 1v1ers do a really good job of holding on to as much boost as possible in order to start the possession, and FBI seems to be using up a lot just to create the possession, and it leaves him a lot less left over to make a play with. He's going to be forced to a 0 to slam this up onto his backboard. Shadi, that was not what he wanted. FBI actually had the ball falling off the top of his car, position that you can launch a really powerful flick from, and the other option is to just let the ball fall to the ground, which is ultimately what he did. Nice reset from Shadi. This game number 1 is going in his favor. It's now 3-3 since FBI had stopped the bleeding, but the 5-goal margin remains. Shadi wave dash kickoff. Not sure if we watched any of Shadi's Salt Mine matches. We watched probably a couple of the EU ones. For the most part, we're only... Oh, wow, that's a good shot from FBI. For the most part, we're only covering the North American matches live. But I know we've done at least a couple show matches, or sorry, watch parties of the EU portion. But I don't think we caught a Shadi match. FBI just trying to gain confidence right now for the future of the match. But game 1 definitely going to Shadi. We'll see what the number 5 ranked player in the world has in store for us as the match goes on. Yeah, it was also definitely the right call to remove chat from the screen. Game number 2. We'll see if FBI can turn it around. What is this boost? Is this a boost he is using intentionally? Is this a bronze boost? Wait, I don't even know. Guys, what is this boost? Item knowers. Chat always has some item knowers. We need to know right now what FBI's boost is, because apparently it's meta, as he has his first lead of the entire series by switching to it. Is it bronze season reward? Okay, that's what I thought, but it didn't look exactly like it. FBI flexing that he finished his placement matches by rocking that bronze boost. And Shadi is clearly intimidated. This time, the fake touch gets Shadi up in the air. Or really, it's just the carry, I should say. FBI backing off the ball to 50 if needed, but didn't need to. FBI with possession off the kickoff, try to pre-flip to see if he could get the ball. Oh, Shadi actually just read the fact that FBI, without boost, looks to make a possession play back to his half. Shadi was ahead of him, out in front. If FBI had that read, I wonder if there's a way he could turn around and score. Probably not, since he had such a little boost. He actually did a decent job, considering how disadvantaged he was. Now an air dribble bump. FBI tried to flip through Shadi, but it's not going to work. 2-1. Shadi on the board. Had to resort to the air dribble in this match to get his first goal after scoring frenzy to start the first. Shadi, ceiling reset. Right now, Shadi and I think FBI, but I wouldn't know for sure, are all playing in Saudi E-League. I believe that's what it's called. And they were playing over this weekend as well, so I think, I'm not sure where that gets streamed, but in an hour or so, I'm sure you could check out some Saudi 3v3. Shadi gonna make it 2-2. Quals don't get streamed? Oh, sorry. Apparently you will not be able to check in. FBI trying to cut this infield on Shadi. A bit slow to jump to this ball, but gets bumped instead of demoed. So he sticks around for the follow-up. This one's going to bounce out midfield. FBI taking his time. Where did Shadi go? I'm about to go watch this from Shadi's perspective. Oh, lag. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. We'll let these guys settle it, because, yeah, by no means would you ever do what he just did. So if FBI wants to give a goal, you know, he always can, but he never have to. He is going to give a goal, it looks like. Who says Shadi the best? Do you think Lil Jon has a good Shadi? That's a really great question. FBI, he has had a couple pretty impressive saves where he is on the goal line and he manages to clear it really well. Not just get the save, but keep the ball out of position for Shadi. Oh, boost spawns at perfect timing. FBI is actually ahead of his dribble, so he's just going to bump Shadi as a way to try and keep possession. Does he feel good about a full field back wall dribble? Seems like he is going to try to. Really strong first touch. Doesn't lose a ton of momentum with the ceiling, but he just needed to make contact with that follow-up. Fortunately, I think he actually has recovered for a chance on defense at least. And again, he's going to pin the ball off his backboard. FBI is so solid in net. I love the way his first touches have been going. He's going to pin this one off the backboard and then in. And it all comes down to, I mean, you could slightly, you know, say Shadi isn't placing as well as he should, but I think a lot of that has to do with how FBI is saving it. He's putting it into a position where he can cover all angles fairly easily. Shadi, look at that shot. We watched it from FBI's perspective. It actually gave a great read on how, oh my goodness, wait a second. I didn't realize how insane that was. Shadi resetting the ball into the ceiling back to himself, and then launching it again with another reset. That was absurd. Game tied 4-4. Shadi going to pinch away this kickoff opportunity. FBI, I'm not sure if you want to take this dribble. The first touch was nowhere near the net, but he actually brought it back. Problem is it took all the boost to bring it back. You need to save some of that boost for the outplay. Shadi just absolutely rushes this straight to the net. Really strong first touch, and FBI gets back to it, but he just saves it right back up into Shadi, who dunks it in with a 5-4 lead. Shadi, this is maybe his first lead of game 2. I think FBI has been either leading or tying, and a kickoff goal will bring it right back to tied. You might test this boost for real. Yeah, maybe bronze boost is it. I feel like a lot of the times... Oh, nice cut. Wow, great read by Shadi, or great car control, I should say, as he finds a way out of the bump. And the perfect flip to make the save, but it's only going to be for just a little bit more time. I feel like a lot of boost choices from pros or players has to do with the sound it makes. And a lot of times it's just looking for a sound that you don't get annoyed using. How do we feel about the bronze sound? It's not too bad, but it's certainly not like the standard and alpha that are used the most often. It's also no rainbow. The rainbow one, while I have no problem with it, is used on occasion, and it's definitely more in your face. FBI giving Shadi some space. His dribble's going to stop way short of the net, and he missed his wave dash shot, but he actually made it back in time for a nice 50. FBI Flipping past the ball. Shadi really had no choice. He couldn't take that early shot because FBI was going to be basically protecting that space. Instead, he backs off. And he's able to catch and flick. So, under a minute. Shadi within 1. For me, Sparkles is annoying. Sparkles is used a ton. So people must not think it's too annoying. FBI, another dribble that seems ill-advised based on the first touch. Not really anywhere threatening on the field. What a 50. He actually missed his dash. He tried to air roll to make his car as big as possible and then dash back down to win the race to the ball. Dash did not succeed. Now he has Shadi on a dribble, and Shadi has looked really threatening. I think that was a little bit of lag for me right there. Why that flip looked so weird. FBI can't get back up to this ball. Shadi, quick camera check. Sees that FBI will be taking it away. So 11 seconds. Shadi has no choice but to dive on this ball. FBI's dribble is going to need a reset to get over the top of Shadi, but he decides to play it safer. He wants to bump Shadi away, and it works. So FBI right back on the board. A much closer down to the wire game, but it's not going to matter. It's worth just as much as the series tied 1-1. Game number 3. FBI and Shadi. It has been an exciting one so far. And Shadi is going to go into the Octane. And what is this decal on the Octane? Oh, Shadi. Basically scores off a fake. Takes the ball to the ground. I think we have a new car from FBI as well. FBI thought there was going to be at least some movement off the wall. Shadi let it fall to the ground. What is this boost? Okay, this... Do we think FBI is actually using this boost on his screen? This is like a smoke screen. Just to take away all your own vision. What is it? Alright, we need the item knowers again. Item knowers. Is he going random? I don't think so. This seems like a, reasonable... He's in a Fennec, and he's in a pretty standard decal. Shadi gonna take this off the bounce. Air dribble bump. He is rocking our more conventional boost. Elite boost, to be honest. Do people maybe not know this one? This one is pretty exotic, it seems like. I'm looking for the name in chat, but I don't think anybody said it. Shadi trying to bump. FBI stays patient, sees that coming. Shadi's trying to run away with another win. FBI himself a decent position here. Shadi tapped the ball away. Is going to try and stay on the ball despite not having any boost to work with. And FBI does not punish. Needed to get the spirit of that shot was correct. He needed to get a quick shot high, which is ultimately what he's going for. But I mean, he missed so far wide. Can't afford to actually finish the play if it's not going to be on target. Righteous Gale. Aiden says Righteous Gale is what this... I mean, maybe. Yeah, I see some stars. I don't know where white righteous comes from, but interesting. It's fail, not Gale. Shadi stealing FBI's boost. FBI staying on the ball best that he can. Now forced back to make a play. Gonna start another dribble from the full field. Shadi actually threatened to pre-jump. FBI has no boost left over, but he placed it pretty well. He needs to recover quickly, and he didn't flip immediately. Which is an interesting decision. It felt like he just needed to get speed as soon as possible, but he did make it back. Gets himself demoed. Shadi should have no trouble scoring this. He does. So 5-0. Another 5-0 start. It seems like FBI's win condition is definitely not allowing a 5-0 start. That feels like an important part to any match. A lot of that has to do with kickoffs. Shadi gets full control on this kickoff, can see FBI the whole way. FBI try to go all the way back to the corner and turn and dive. All it takes is a double jump. Shadi getting directly underneath that ball to just pop it straight up. Make FBI go flying, and actually ends up being perfect precision too. Didn't need a follow-up at all. Just lands directly in the net. Oftentimes, people will overshoot that. Basically put it on the backboard. That was a decent follow-up from FBI. Forced Shadi to be awkward, but that's where the decent follow-ups ended. Now it's Shadi, who seems to be confident, up 6-0. Taking to the ceiling to show us something special. FBI, how's the flick game? Oh, it's solid, but maybe too solid. He launched the ball so high. He actually had a weak touch there that allowed a chance for Shadi to get back. Man, did he boom that flick. Works out because Shadi flipping through his challenge. He tried to intercept it. Sent him so far out of the play. A little bit more passive of a attempt on the ball might have meant that FBI would not have had time to follow up. But 6-1. Again, probably a bit too late to bring it back. No hook shot available here. Boost steal, though. As FBI takes it to the ceiling. He has a reset, I think. Can he use it? Oh, he didn't. He must not have. I feel like he would have used it. But he goes for the ground pinch instead. Shadi at 0. Came all the way to the ceiling to try and steal it away, but it's a bit too awkward to get the right challenge on the ball. And his single jump just took him out of the play. Shadi's going to get a kickoff goal, though. That seems like it's securing this game. With a minute 30, we're going to need to see the game be entirely FBI favored if he really wanted to bring it back. It's got a minute 30. So a complete collapse on the kickoff for Shadi is probably the way back. Luckily for FBI, we're not counting goal differential. So he can lose the games that he loses by as much as he wants, as long as he finds a way to win again. He's challenging from the ceiling this time. Stopping Shadi's dribble early. Now FBI. Another flick position. Delays the flick until after Shadi has jumped. If he had flicked right away, FBI or Shadi probably would have been able to intercept it. We forced him to make the play late. Now a minute left to go. FBI wants to hold on to as much boost as possible, but needs to beat Shadi to the ball. Did just that. Now pinned on the back wall. Waiting to see if he'll be allowed to get a possession. Shadi shadowing so close. Even slight separation of the ball is enough to allow Shadi a play, and that missed boost. You know, it's hard to blame any one thing, but certainly if he was going to rush a few goals, he was going to have to get that boost on his first attempts. Now he remains back in the blue half. Shadi is going to make another one. So 8-3 with 21 seconds. Game number 3 going to go to Shadi. Is there anything he can do to bring it back? T-Pain shouted out Shadi in his latest music video. Wow. That is really cool of T-Pain. I always knew he's a big Rocket League fan. This ball will hit ground. Or maybe not. Shadi and FBI going to keep it up for a bit. There it goes. Series 2-1 in favor of Shadi. We'll see if FBI can bounce back again. Yeah, both Shadi and FBI, as far as I'm aware, are male. They're both he's. At least I've never been corrected. Just FYI. Despite the fact that it sounds like everyone's joking because it sounds like I'm saying Shadi, like it's like a Shadi's like a melody. Game number 4. Shadi and FBI. FBI back in a more conventional Fennec, the one I believe he started the series with. After testing out a couple more exotic boosts, he's had enough of that. He creeped out to pick up a pad. It was just enough to not be able to get the save. don't know if he expected to be able to get back to that even after grabbing the boost. Shadi pre-flipping to the ball. FBI looking to be patient and punish Shadi for that. He's hiding behind the ball right now. Air dribble bump for him. It's going to work. Oh, wait, no, it's not. Shadi, he faked like he was up. He used his flip to just actually jump back down and then snuck out underneath it. I have never seen it defended that way. And it works because ultimately the dribble was low. Wow, what a save from Shadi. FBI, the backboard double was on target. Shadi had the read. And now it's a free jump from FBI. FBI able to cover the follow-up flick. He's done a really good job with these follow-up saves. Oh my goodness, FBI let the ball get momentum too before saving it, but somehow killed it on the goal line. Continues to have an almost perfect record in terms of those in and out recoveries after sending the ball to the backboard. Problem is he needs a bit of offense if he wants to win a game. He can't just stop the occasional shot from Shadi. And all of his air dribbles, what he needs to do to adjust them is he has to start them better on the first touch. I mean, he's had such a tough time scoring these ones that are aimed towards the back corner or even off to the side to the wall. But ultimately, he found a way. Yeah, we are going to have another match after this. We have Ahmad versus Raziers. FBI gets up and around this ball. Has the reset. Maybe convinces Shadi not to challenge. Such a high bounce. He's able to follow up on. It is Ahmad with a 7. The Iraqi Ahmad. Just so everyone knows. A7 MD. Shadi trying to intercept FBI defensively. With the last bit of boost he had, it was his only hope not to get to the ball. Never was going to be able to get there, but maybe he could bump FBI in the way. The Falcons Ahmad did play ones a lot more back in the day. I think that was how he first arrived on the scene, was stream sniping scrub, right? Is that correct? Am I remembering that correctly? Shadi playing from behind in an even-numbered game. Apparently those seem to be the hard ones for him. He loves to pass to himself off the ceiling. My goodness. He looks so comfortable involving that ceiling in the play. This time it's a much softer one. Earlier he used the reset to just boom the ball off the ceiling back to himself. FBI low 50. Seems like he tried to bump Shadi as he approached the corner. Shadi must have been expecting a more aggressive play from FBI, because that little tap back to him only makes sense if he's trying to tap it over the top of, you know, a early challenging FBI. But FBI was actually sitting back and waiting, so he's really just handing him the ball. Shadi now trying to score with speed. FBI, great recovery. Even has his own boost, but gets demoed. So it'll be a tie game as Shadi able to slot the open net. FBI did play in the qualifiers. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but he lost to Oski and Raziers. So that's just the way it goes in you know, a very talent-packed qualifier. You can lose to a guy like Oski and Raziers, and you know, I'm sure many people did lose to those talented players. Oski made it. Raziers did not. Unless I'm misremembering something. But just goes to show how good of a level you have to be at. And shout out Shadi, who did qualify in order to make it. Shadi, oh my goodness. Is he going to find a way to score this? Oh, he is. Wait, the bump on FBI. Oh my goodness. He just launches to the ceiling like he was starting a freestyle. And he ends up using the reset for a wave dash to cut the ball back on target at 19 kilometers per hour. Something that has no business scoring, except he turns around and bumps FBI and lets it roll in. That was a ridiculous goal from Shadi. FBI playing a decent amount of keep away here, though. Shadi with no boost, won't be able to catch back up. Who did Shadi beat to qualify? I can check that. Let me see. Shadi, here are all of his wins in the closed qualifier, which is more than you probably care to know. But he did get matched up against Falcons Ahmad, who disqualified or didn't show up. And then lost his first qualifier game to Nupo. And then from the lower bracket, beat Mizixi, Grama, Kiliers, and Drally. So, Kiliers, Drally, Grama, Mizixi, all those are tough matches. But the toughest, of course, being the Drally match that he won in order to qualify for the events. Shadi stopping FBI. I was looking at Shadi's history here, so I didn't get to see the setup for FBI's dribble, but considering that he's up 1, going for a fairly aggressive dribble with a flick, seems like maybe not the play. Shadi bumping him, gonna try and race him to the corner. FBI decides not to be involved in the race, which makes sense. Goes and grabs the midfield. Shadi just narrowly avoiding own goaling in the attempt to break up FBI's offense. Now 20 boosts to work with. Nice high pop. Can he get to this ball? Probably not. FBI doesn't have much either. Shadi couldn't keep it up. So it is overtime. Shadi a goal away from a 3-1 win. He's going to win out in a race to the midfield boost, which is always a bad position for the person who loses that race. Not only are you all the way at the midfield, but you're at the midfield with 0 boost instead of immediately retreating back to your corner knowing you were going to lose. FBI to the skies, a place he hasn't had nearly as much success as Shadi, but gets himself a goal. It doesn't need to be as fancy. As long as you get the reset, you can bait a defender in, and he uses that flip after Shadi decided to try and intercept the ball that he thought was headed to the ground. So it's game 5. Shadi and FBI. So it all comes down to this. And we actually need to get this game started quick because Shadi has a scrim. Game number 5. Shadi and FBI. The games that Shadi has won have been blowouts in his favor. Can he do that again? FBI, I think, winning by a single goal, maybe both times. Certainly did this last time in overtime. I want to say Shadi was able to bring it back to at least within 1 or 2 in his other game loss. What's Shadi's trail? Is it the... That's a laser wave. That's titanium white laser wave. Did I actually know an item, chat? Nice reset. Perfect setup from FBI. He has cured his woes. I was telling you earlier, he was having trouble on the first touch. This was the perfect first touch. Ceiling height directly to the center of the net. Everything is threatened, and he launches it with a musty and gets his first goal. Laser wave 3. Oh, maybe I didn't get it exactly right. But yeah, that's the one I use. I think the only one I use other than classic is Laser Wave 3 Titanium White. I think it was the very first Rocket Pass. I think the goal explosion I used was also from the very first Rocket Pass. Maybe it was not the very first. Maybe it was a slightly later one, but that's what I thought it was. Shadi doesn't pick up his own corner boost, which, while he didn't really need it, it allows FBI to dive in and steal it and actually have boost in the corner. FBI resets, falls off the ball. He's actually going to follow this up. My goodness. Shadi's going to give him a nice one. He doesn't use the reset. Oh, actually did use the reset for a dash, and then he sees the ball, just barely able to get tapped in, and decides to keep his boost going to keep himself in the air to make the play. You're a bit old, Feer? Okay, Dr. Known. Okay. You guys are like, when the first rocket pass came out, I was just born. Sorry, I've been playing for a while. FBI, oh my goodness, how is that not an own goal? He just sniped his own post. He was actually really close to scoring on the other end as well. But I was busy defending myself against chat, who's saying I'm old. Shadi not able to get his own back corner boost. FBI undercutting Shadi. Steal the others. He's had him at 0 for a bit now. Is he going to somehow convert this first touch into something? It would take multiple resets to do so. But his second reset is used just to dash. Now he's got himself another great position. This time Shadi with boost to work with, though. The reset. Oh my goodness, FBI. He has just cured his aerial game. That had been, I would say, almost a weakness earlier in this series. The way he was setting them up without any end goal in sight. Now he's threatening everything. And he seems to be in the zone. We have yet to see a game really controlled by FBI. And, you know, this is the higher rated ones player. If you look at the leaderboard, of course, in a tournament setting, maybe Showmatch setting a little bit closer to, Shadi was able to get that qualification. And FBI almost able to slot into the top right. Shadi looking to be patient. FBI taking the ball away. I don't think Shadi dove. Maybe he did. He did have a full boost to work with. I'm not sure he felt like he could get all the way there. FBI playing keep away. Did not miss an open net, I don't think. Had he tried to shoot on target, Shadi had actually done enough to stop the shot. So he was specifically just trying to make sure Shadi didn't get a play. Now he wants to cut back towards net, see if he can bait Shadi out. He undercut him, but carried him into the boost. So there is a reset of possession. Shadi to the skies, pre-jump by FBI. FBI intercepts it and saves it. It actually still hit the corner of the net. But what a crazy save from FBI, who's had some really unconventional saves so far today. This time it'll happen at ceiling heights. And his aerial game all of a sudden is his strong suit as he gets a reset and uses it to outplay Shadi near the net. Tell you what, the start of game 1 in this series, it was looking like these two were maybe outmatched. Shadi was in control of everything around the field. Even game number 2 made it seem like FBI kind of stole one, but now he's finally showing that he is warmed up and he is ready. The fake flick from Shadi keeps FBI glued to that near post. That's where the flick would have been headed. And he lands back down and sends it over to the other side of the net. Yeah, these guys both from Saudi. You can always check out player flags on the scoreboard. Nice bump from FBI. With a minute left to go. And a 4-goal lead. It seems like FBI is on the way to a Showmatch win. Shadi needs to get a bunch of quick offense, and we've actually seen him get it before. Missed the midfield boost. Gonna allow FBI to have a bit more as he approaches the net. Flick from Shadi. Saved. He can't place it into the bottom left. FBI continues to just make it work whenever he's forced into the net on the first save. Always covers the second option. This time he is in big trouble as he is not protecting this ball well. The pinch on the ground though from Shadi is too hard, and all these precious moments are going wasted right now for Shadi, who needs an immediate goal. He's brought this to the ceiling, but even the nice movement around the ball and the pre-flip to touch it towards the net is not enough. Shadi needs a bucket. He sent this one too high, and FBI's defense has Shadi looking for the edges of the nets, and he has not been able to find them. FBI pins this one away too. So he's going to make sure that it is a comfortable win here in Game 5. FBI now is officially given up from moving. Shadi throws a what a save. Shadi or FBI had completely let go of the controller basically on that back wall. But there it is. Game 5 going to go to FBI. Close series back and forth the whole way. But FBI takes it.